my one negative about Prisoners is that Hugh Jackman doesn't go, his singing type of it's like really fluctuating. Like from Les Miserables, he's like,
Man just called it Les Miserable.
No, because I'm English and stupid, I call it Les Miserables.
Of course you do.
When your mate Les is unhappy.
Les Miserables.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another installment of the Film Me In podcast, where this week we're going to film you in tournament style once again. Yes, we are finally starting the GOAT tournament, greatest of all time tournament, and we've got a fun episode planned for you, some fun matchups, and yeah, we're going to have a good time. With me, as always, is my wonderful cavalcade of co-hosts. We've got Siwan.
What the hell is a cover card?
Sounds like a Cobra Kai sort of thing.
What a
Cavalcade is like it's like a group.
what a posh little word.
Thank you.
He is English.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Siwan. We've got Hamish.
Hi, Joe. Welcome to the podcast.
and then we've got Joe.
Hello, Xander. Hello.
My word, my real word. Okay, so because we didn't get to them last time, because for some reason the sound waves got mixed up and we got replaced by a different, better show last week. So we're gonna do some moans to start off with. So who wants to tell me moan?
I'd love to moan.
That's a loaded
Go for it,
question,
Joe.
and you know it, Xander.
I have a broad moan, and it annoys me every day I go on Twitter. Doctor Who fans just need to go outside and touch grass, honestly.
Joe, do you want to leave the recording then?
I'll go touch some grass.
Take that long
I know-
walk, Joe.
Joe got a job for 2 days and he's like, you guys need to touch some grass. This is too much.
Shut up. No, so I swear the majority of Doctor Who fans are just born pessimists. I don't know what it is, but they're just they haven't grown up yet. That it's weird. It's weird. And they complain about like the most minute things that everyday people would just not give a shit about. Oh, me? No, I am not talking about me, guys. Don't worry. So the new
It's
Sonic
just, you're
screwdriver.
ticking all the boxes here.
The new Sonic screwdriver design. It was like described in the new magazine of like what references it had to it, and it wasn't inspired by the 13th Doctor's era. And people who like the 13th Doctor were like, oh, they're forgetting that era. They hate Jodie Whittaker. And it's like, huh? Where have you got that from? You're talking smack. You're talking smack. And then one of my friends on Twitter wrote about how they've only just got excited about the RTD era now and they weren't before. And someone decided to screenshot that tweet and publicly belittle them by saying that they were being negative about the new era because they weren't excited yet, and basically encouraging people to go over to their account and be nasty to them. I just don't understand Doctor Who fans. Like, just grow up. Stop caring about the little things. If there's an opinion you don't like, move on. Don't tell them they're wrong. Like I got into an argument with someone. I was like, look, just be kind. They're like, oh no, but it's Twitter, it's an open platform. Like, okay, is that an excuse not to be kind then? It doesn't make sense, does it? Like, Doctor Who's literal, thing is be kind. Capaldi said it in his closing speech. What? If you watch Doctor Who, how do you not get that? So, my moan's Doctor Who fans. Stop being so petty. Grow up.
Nice.
Wow, that was
But some
passionate.
Doctor Who fans are actually really nice. I should say that, because otherwise people will be like, oh, you didn't mention the good ones. There are good ones out there.
That was passionate, Joe. I appreciate that. It was a good moan for the first
Oh,
one
they're going to
back.
attack me now.
Yeah, they are.
Please subscribe to Rebel Whovian.
Who's next?
I
Go on, Hamish.
don't mind having a moan. Right, so over the past 3 days, I finally caught up with our Barbenheimer episode, having gone and watched Barbie.
Yay.
And having come out of it, right, a lot of different people take a lot of different things away from watching Barbie. And what I've found is that there's like, this is just in my own experience, that there's some people that watch that movie and like will rabidly call you like sexist for like daring to disagree with them on anything in that movie. And I haven't actually listened to our episode yet on it because I've been saving myself for that absolute marathon. I intend to do it with some paperwork. But like my sister's never gonna listen to this. My sister like my sister gave some energy that to quote, I think my dad had come out with, "Oh, I think the movie's for everyone," and my sister dropped the line, "No, it's for women by women, and it should be enjoyed by women," and it was something on those lines, and I was like, right. There seems to be oh, we've lost Joe. But
He'll come back.
There seems to be, just from my own experience, like a small sect of really zealous fans of the movie that are not open to talking about any kind of viewpoint other than their own. And really, unfortunately, that's a shame, because the movie talks a lot about, I mean, the movie talks so much about like equality as a whole. It's not just, I mean, it tells a brilliant story of like, so long as there is one gender in charge, and it doesn't matter which one, it's gonna fucking suck for the other.
Yeah.
And to ignore that message is to really just kind of cherry pick, and it really grinds my gears. But yeah, no, people just need to chill the fuck out about the movie, I think. And
yeah,
I totally agree.
I agree.
like, it's an influential movie, and it's definitely a very cathartic movie for both sexes. Like, I mean, I walked out of that feeling like, fuck, I feel heard. Like, I feel seen a little bit of that movie. I am Knuff. But yeah, no, people need to chill the fuck out and like understand that it's not meant to be a polarizing.
What's going on?
movie.
I'm just frozen.
It's meant to open debate.
Absolutely.
It's not working.
I don't know what your guys'
I'm
experiences
on
are with
red.
it. I'm sure Twitter.
fuck's
I
sake,
stayed clear of
what's going
Twitter
on?
and
Wi-Fi.
TikTok on it.
That was probably for the
assume-
best.
I
I've
assume
become
it was
C1.
like a.
What is going on? Am I back? Sorry. Something's happening.
For everyone listening at home, we just saw Joe go, "Come, Siwan," and then freeze, just like freeze, like mid euphoria.
What's going on, Joe? Are you alright?
It's just going into the red. I've got full bars and it's going into the red, and you all froze. And then obviously you heard "Come Siwan," and then it disconnected me and then connected me again. It's just ass. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, continue.
No, I mean,
Have you got anything downloaded on your computer?
No.
Because you're frozen again. Oh, no, you're back again. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, my berries.
I think I found my berries.
Oh my Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
Right, sorry
Oh my
guys.
god, my berries.
Oh my god.
What a beautiful little moment. Yeah, no, I think during our podcast I was definitely more negative than everyone else, but I still like the movie. I've seen it again since, and it's I think it is good. It's very charming, but I still have my problems with it. Like, there's some jokes in it that sort of undermine what the rest of the movie's about, and there's a couple of performance issues and a couple of jokes that I just didn't find that funny. So there are problems with it for sure, but I think overall it is a good movie. I think anyone that's saying it's straight up a bad movie either doesn't get it either isn't in on the joke, or like are the people like Ben Shapiro who's like, I'm gonna go into this hating it, and look at that, I hated it. The people giving it like 1 star, I don't understand that, because there's so much merit in the movie. There are great performances, there are great dance numbers for some reason, and there are bits that are funny, and it's so charming that it wins you over. Exactly. So overall, I think the consensus would be around everyone is that it's at least good.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's on the right side of this, because it's a well-made movie for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything?
Swan?
As the
Everybody's
resident
entitled to their
woman
own
here.
opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions about it.
Oh no, I was asking if
you know?
Swan wanted to go next. I wasn't just Swan.
Oh, yeah.
You're a woman.
Yeah.
I do have a moan, though.
Go for your moan. Son.
Right. So, to clarify, I'm not like a massive zodiac sign nut, okay?
Oh,
I'm not.
Oh, joy.
No, I'm not. But if it...
What a start!
Here
What a
we
start!
fucking go.
Right. I'm not going to be like, oh my god, you're a Scorpio, I'm not allowed to be compatible with you. I'm not that type of person. But if it comes up, I'm going to look at it just to see if it's accurate or not to myself. You gonna know?
Uh-huh.
Right. Now, I'm a Pisces, right? And a Pisces is a water sign, but their thing is to fish.
Uh-huh.
Okay? My issue is with the fish.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Because every time you get, like, a character that you're like, oh, you know, and this is actually specific to the Barbie film, okay? They're like, oh, you know, there's, like, a bunch of... How many fucking Barbies are in that film?
A lot.
Quite a few.
Dozens, right? Guess who Pisces is put as? A fucking mermaid who has 2 lines. She says, hello, Ken. She says, hello, Ken, and she hands fucking, what's his name? John Cena a beer and says, is my big boy thirsty? How does someone look at that? How does someone look at that and go, oh yeah, that's a Pisces? It's just because of the fucking fishtail, and it pisses me off, because it's always the same. Right? Like, it doesn't even make sense, because other zodiac signs have animals, but it's always Pisces that's fish, and it pisses me off.
What doesn't help is me and Siwan are both Pisces, and I cannot swim, and she's afraid of water, so we're kind of fucked.
Yeah. But it's always the same. Like, somebody said, like, I saw a fucking TikTok about it, and it's like, oh yeah, Pisces, of course I'm going to give you the mermaid. I'm like, why though? The mermaid that's in it for 20 seconds has 2 lines and no character development. Why is that a Pisces?
Wait,
Tell me.
Is the mermaid's name Pisces?
No, it's Dua Lipa. Wait, is that...
No, I don't know what fucking her name is. But
It's Barbie. What do you mean? What's your name? What's her name? She's Barbie.
Dua Lipa Barbie.
She's Barbie. No, it's the zodiac sign. I'm a Pisces, and that's like fish.
But,
and it's always associated with fish, and I don't get why. Just be a bit more creative and stop telling me I'm a fucking fish.
Listen, just because I'm a pescatarian.
I'm incredibly confused, but I will empathise with you on that. My favourite thing to do with a zodiac sign like nuts is like I'm actually an Aries, and they're like, oh, you're such an Aries, yeah, I can tell. And then I go, I'm a Gemini, and they go, oh, that's such a Gemini thing to do. Like, I knew it.
You're Gemini, Hamish.
Yeah, I'm in June. Yeah.
I think you say I'm from Germany.
Speaking you Deutsch?
Yeah, I'm a Gemini because I'm from Germany. Yeah.
I was in that Will Smith movie, Gemini Man.
I've written a review on that, and it was like the most meth-fueled nightmare I've ever seen.
Well, that's lucky because I'm Pisces movie. I don't know.
Apparently I'm a fish.
You are a fish, Sawan.
Blob blob.
It's just that we're always a fish, and I want them to be a bit more creative instead of just going, oh, you're a fish.
I want to be Alan.
If anyone wants to see what Sawan looks like, just watch Monster vs. Alien.
Oh, the missing link. I was thinking of Ginormica, but that's not a fish.
A minute. That was
I'm really glad it took a hot second for that to settle.
I was like, fish. You do give me missing link vibes, Siwan.
You're also a fish!
Oh, yay!
I know, but Joe can't be in Monsters vs. Aliens because he's from Whoville. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, that was a weird moan, and I appreciate it. That was a good moan section. Plenty to talk about.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Big variations.
Now, we've got 45 movies from our top 10s list. If you don't know what they are, listen back to our last Greatest of All Time tournament, and you'll be able to see who picked what, why we went through all the picks, and now we're going to pit them against each other, tournament style, all the way up until we have a winner. This week, because there's 45, we're going to do a playing round to see who gets into the round of 32, which will start in a few weeks. So, to start with, we've got we've got some playing games. So, who's ready?
I'm good to go.
I might be.
Okay, sick. We're going to see how we get on. We're going to do a few, and we'll just see where we get up to today, and then we'll do some more another day. The first matchup, okay? It is one of my movies versus one of Hamish's movies. It is the number 34 seed overall, Almost Famous, and that faces off against the number 33 seed, Fury.
This is easy. It's an easy one. Wait, are we allowed to join in if they're your films?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we, that's why we had the last episode. So everything's been introduced. Everyone knows all the films. We've all discussed them. Now it's open season.
It's playtime.
Maybe we can just sort of talk.
Now it's playtime.
Well, obviously for me and Hamish, these are easy because we're both going to pick ours. But it's really up to you two what you think about these two movies. So this is the time to open up. You know what we think about our movies. What did you guys think about this?
Mr. Bond.
I want to know why Joe thinks it's easy.
Because one of these films had a scene in it that felt very different from the rest of the film, and it was quite slow. And one of them was a wild ride, despite its long run time. I'll leave you to guess which one that is.
Well, I
was very ominous.
I would like to say that Almost Famous, the version Joe watched, was actually the theatrical cut and was just 2 hours long.
No, it wasn't. I watched the long one, Xander.
Oh, did you?
I watched the 2 hours 40.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, cool.
So did I.
Okay, so you
and
guys
despite all the moaning and groaning about having to watch this film, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think I preferred that to Fury.
We're going to hear this a lot. They're very different movies. And that's kind of the point of this. It's movies you never thought would be put up against each other in this situation. And yes, they are
incredibly
polar opposite vibes.
Movies, yeah.
Polar opposite vibes. Siwan, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm with Joe. I watched the 2 hour 41. And what I got, it was a very good film, Almost Famous. Now, I don't think we've actually said what we're talking about here. Almost Famous, right? I really did enjoy it, but I did think it was that bit too long. But that's on me for watching the longer version. I just couldn't find the short one. But, maybe if I did do the short one and then went for the long one, then I'd, enjoyed it more. But I still don't know which one I'd pick, because I do like both films. So I don't know at the minute. But, yeah, Joe's straight up going for Almost Famous, but I'm a bit on the edge just because I did watch the long one.
I think the thing with me is that there was a bit in Fury where I was just bored. It's when they arrive at that house with the two women, and it just feels so different from the rest of the film. And I love the action, I love the violence in Fury, but, it just feels like it feels like something they forgot to cut from the film. But Almost Famous feels more complete in that its overall runtime is more consistent in what it's doing.
Hamish, did you watch Almost Famous?
Yes, I did. Now,
what'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. Like you've said, it's a complete polar opposite to Fury. I don't think they could be any more different movies. But on what Joe mentioned there about the scene with like the house, I think that scene provides quite an in-depth insight into who these characters are when they're not at war. Because inherently, our protagonist doesn't want to actually be, like, fighting across France and Germany. He doesn't. And he's paired with Brad Pitt, who plays a phenomenally, like, battle-hardened tank commander. And I think it gives a split second to realize, like, the men who they are when they're not at war, they actually want peace, despite how, like, thoroughly, like, I want to say murder hungry they are, because they take a bit of pleasure in what they do in that movie. And then we also get to see the harsh, disgusting reality of the soldiers that pushed through Germany. Like, the Allies did some absolutely heinous acts to those civilians. And they treated them so disgustingly because they were German. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget whenever they're looking at, like, World War II and they're making these World War II movies, that usually that kind of thing is glorified and it's forgotten. I think Fury does an excellent job at portraying the disgusting reality of what war is, because there's no, like, joy in it. There's none.
Absolutely. I think I did enjoy Fury overall. I thought it was a solid movie. I do agree with Joe. I think that section in the house it felt overlong. It outstayed its welcome for me. There were several moments that I thought, okay, I'd probably end that here, and it then went on and on and on. I had a problem with some of the action as well. It just looked really silly to me whenever the tanks were firing.
Did you not like the lasers?
The German tanks they looked like lasers. Like the Germans would fire green, and
it's a tracer round.
Allies would fire red.
Yeah,
and I've never seen that before in a movie, and it really threw me out because I was like, I've never seen this in a World War II film before. This now looks like I'm watching Star Wars. It just really took me out of it.
That's actually,
so
that's very historically accurate. Those are called tracer rounds. They're laced with a chemical that whenever it's fired, it ignites. Like, it's basic chemistry. Like, you know, like your sodium burns a color, your nitrogen burns a color. So it's actually to see where the shots are trailing for others to follow.
I didn't like the look of it. Xander
hates history.
Really
there we
go. I do hate history. Yeah. Whereas for me, Almost Famous, I know, like we said so many times, they're so different. But for me, this just feels like a big warm hug of a movie. Like, I love spending time with all these characters. The music is so incredible. Like, every single scene has a absolute bop in it. Go on, Joe.
It starts with an Alvin and the Chipmunks song, so immediately it's the better film.
It does.
Which is really weird because the guy who plays Dave Seville is in it before he plays Dave Seville.
He is.
This
Jason
is like
Lee,
it's like
also
Destiny.
From
My Name Is
Syndrome.
Earl.
Like Jesus.
We'll push towards a decision then. So I'm gonna go for Almost Famous. Hamish, are you going for Fury?
I've got to represent.
The viewing hasn't swayed you. That's understandable. Joe,
I'm gonna go for Almost Famous. I was unkind to it before I watched it, and for that I feel ashamed. Having watched it and watched the longer cut, I really enjoyed it, and it meant a lot.
I respect
and
that.
So really, Siwan, it's down to you.
Ooh.
Are you going for Almost Famous or Fury? Talk us through it.
I will say, what the hell do we do if it's a tie?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll force one of us to change our minds.
I like Fury. I've seen it. I saw it a few years ago, and then watched it again. for this. I like the action. The acting is very good. I get what you mean with the middle bit, but I don't mind it because it shows, better character work. Even though, what's his name? He plays Punisher, John
Bernthal.
Oh, he's an
him.
ass.
He's an ass. But it's still very good. And then Almost Famous. I was very much. I liked the film and I enjoyed a lot of it. And then again, I don't know what is extended. I don't see what they'd cut to make it the 2-hour theatrical. So that's But I don't know. Maybe it was just.
That's probably why you can't find the theatrical cut in many places, because the extended version is known as like the definitive version.
That's fair.
See, the way I watched that movie is I saw it first on Prime, and then got the Blu-ray because I found out there was an extended cut. I was like, well, I got to see this now, and so now every time I watch it, I watch the extended version. So I feel a bit sorry for you guys that you watched the longer version to start with, because it's, I kind of would have told you to watch the normal version first so you could fall in love with it and then find new love in the extended version, because you're right, 2 hours 40, it's a little bit daunting at first glance.
I just got maximum love straight away, so
that's the thing. I very much loved it straight away, but then it got long. Like I don't know where I decided to be like, okay, now it's getting on a bit. But then again, I still like the film. That's why I'm really struggling. Because, like, as much as I like Fury, and as much as I like Almost Famous, it is that extra 40 minutes that's making me not choose it at the minute, but then I don't want that to take away and then give it to Fury. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for
that's
sure.
That's why I'm struggling. So, at the minute, I don't know.
Well, I hate to do this to you, but like...
I know.
Time's a ticking.
We're running low on time.
At the minute you must know, Siwan.
Yeah, given that I was enjoying Almost Famous more from the bat, and that maybe if I go back to it knowing that it's longer and knowing what's going to happen, I might, not be like, oh, this is a bit too long. I think I might give it to Almost Famous. I'm sorry.
That's valid.
There it is. The first victor in this tournament is the 34 seed, Almost Famous. That goes through to the round of 32. And Fury is KIA.
Aww.
It is a solid movie, Hamish, and it's a shame that it had to go this early, but something's got to lose,
It's okay. I'm looking at what's coming up, and it's
I've
going to
just
be a
seen.
slaughter. It's going to be a slaughter.
I wish Alex was here to defend it.
I feel like we need Alex here.
Oh.
No, we don't.
Ditto.
So next up, we've got the number 25 seed. This is on Alex's list, who couldn't be here tonight. And it is Barbie Mariposa from 2008. And it faces off against the number 40 seed. It's Hamish's pick again. It's Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Okay, I did watch Barbie. I watched it. I got
So
to
did
it.
I.
You watched Mariposa. You forced yourself through
I
I
watched
watched
it.
it.
I sat
I watched it at 1.25. I watched it at 1.25 speed.
I sat at home and watched it, and the version that Alex sent us on YouTube didn't work anymore. It's been taken off YouTube. So
really?
I had to find it, and I had to watch it in 28 separate clips on YouTube.
Xander, the clip that Alex sent worked for me, so it sounds like a you problem.
I only watched this a few days ago, so it's
well, that's
been
on
taken
you for
off
doing your
since.
homework late, Xander. So.
Too late.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I was putting it off, and also I was terrified. I was watching the door the whole time because if my dad came in and I was watching Barbie Mariposa, he would have rinsed me. He would never have forgiven me.
I literally told my mum, just to warn you, if you come in and you see me watching Barbie, it's for the podcast. And she's like, yeah, that's fine, Joe. So...
Yeah, whatever you want, honey.
So I've actually been made to watch another one of these Barbie movies. Me and Alex made the agreement that I had to watch Barbie Fairytopia, which I believe is the prequel to this. No, this is not like MCU to these movies. There's genuinely like they beat Marvel to it. I assume the redeeming quality remains Bibble.
No.
I hate Bibble.
No.
I was quite invested by the story, to be honest.
I like Bibble because of the memes Bibble spawns, right? There's like CEO of sex memes of Bibble, like.
Oh god.
Like that's why I enjoy Bibble. Aside from it, it is like I would rather nail my hand to the desk. Like, it is mind-numbing, like, just morbid, like, brain sludge.
So the main bulk of my problem with this movie is, for one, the animation is poor, but it's cheap, and that's whatever. But the problem with poor animation comes the fact that all the characters look the exact same. I had no idea who was doing what.
Maybe you should have paid
at any
more
given
attention
point.
than that, though.
No, I was paying attention, but all of them had the same hair colour. The villain showed up, and I was like, I thought that was her best friend. I was
No,
so
those two do look very similar.
Those did. I'll agree on that one.
Yeah, no, and like the ending message was sweet, but there were also other messages that is like, oh, if you don't only do something if you get given something at the end of it. It's like, what?
But that's why I do stuff. So
yeah,
it resonated with me.
It doesn't seem like something that should be forefront in a kids movie like this.
It's also incredibly boring.
It is pretty boring.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Moments.
And those little things that chase them and that eat fairies were so annoying.
Those are actually quite scary.
They had the same voice.
I can imagine being quite creeped out by them as a kid. But of course, I'm watching this at the grand old age of 21, so...
It sounded like B-Tech Seth Rogen at a point. Awful. Pacific Rim, on the other hand...
definitely a film.
Yeah, can we get to the slaughter?
Pacific Rim, on the other hand, is
masterpiece.
Cool.
Masterpiece.
Both these films have a grand scale. So
see, that's the thing that really makes Pacific Rim cool is the sense of scale you get from it, and Guillermo del Toro works wonders with that. The CG looks fantastic; it really holds up. Some of the CG, acting is
if you get the high quality version of it today, it puts the entirety of the MCU to shame.
Yeah, I think it's this golden period for CGI between 2009 or maybe even 2008 up until 2014 is peak CGI. I think it just looks incredible throughout this period.
Whoever the hell worked on that movie, Disney need to hire now, and they just need to just let them do their thing. The guys that did this movie. Oh my god, the amount of detail. If you go and watch it slowly, they've even animated how the rain reacts on different surfaces throughout the movie. The detail is astounding.
It is, and I love Ron Perlman's little role in it as well.
Yeah,
he's really cool.
He's brilliant.
Charlie Day's great fun.
Baron Gorman is such a little weasel. I know him from Torchwood and Johnny English Reborn, but
he's in what else is he in? He's in something else as well. Is he in The Dark Knight Rises?
Is he?
He might be.
He is. He has his neck broken by Bane.
No, that's Ben Mendelsohn.
Oh, that's Ben Mendelsohn. Oh,
you haven't been talking to the cops.
He's Ben Mendelsohn's
compatriot.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. Pacific Rim, it's got some really poor acting as well. Charlie Hunnam is not at his best here.
No.
No, but we're not here for the acting. We're here to watch the giant robots beat the shit out of kaiju. You're absolutely right,
but we've got to say something
bad
about this.
We've got to say things.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good film, but it's not as good as
About to say Barbie Mariposa.
No, it's not as good as it's not this amazing film. It's it's okay,
It's just good. I think it's just good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's not. It was on Channel 5 on a Sunday, so I don't know what that says about it.
But... I mean, it came out in 2012.
13.
13?
Because I remember I went to see this at the cinema with my brother.
I did too.
We wanted to go watch The World's End, but I was too young to get in, and so we had to go watch Pacific Rim instead.
Look,
and we had great fun.
I think the best way I can sum up Pacific Rim is it looks phenomenal, but it is also the epitome of switch your brain off cinema, and you just get to like it. I know that can sometimes be used as like an insult to some movies, but it is just cracking action.
It is.
I'd say that Barbie Mariposa has some great action sequences, like when they hid under the flower to escape the gaze of the evil creatures. That was pretty tense, I will say.
It was like
I was
watching
on the
The
edge of my
Conjuring.
seat at 1 a.m, just like, are they going to survive? You know.
Dreadful movie.
I think we're all ready to vote. I'm really sorry, Alex, but is it unanimous?
It gets stepped on by a fucking...
I'm going to go for Barbie Mariposa to be different.
No, you're not.
No, I am.
Okay, so
Because it means nothing.
that's one honorary vote for Barbie Mariposa, so that Alex doesn't be very upset. But it looks like the 40 seed Pacific Rim is stepping on Barbie Mariposa, squishing it under its giant robot foot, and goes through to the round of 32.
Boom, references.
I'm really sorry, Alex. Maybe on your next one, which is coming up next.
Sorry.
The next matchup, it's the number 24 seed. This one is from Siwan's list, and it's Prisoners from 2013. And that faces off against another one of Alex's. It's the 39 seed, and it is Okja from 2017.
The Battle of the Dano.
Battle of the Dano. To be fair, I think it may be a good job that Alex isn't here, because I think they would have been rendered speechless by the idea of two Paul Danos in one conversation.
Ooh.
Okay.
Both are very good, but I think for me, Prisoners is stronger. Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I second this.
Okja is really cool, and it's really upsetting, and a really heartfelt movie, and it's adorable. I love all the weird performances people are giving, especially Jake Gyllenhaal. What an incredible guy he is. But then Prisoners is one of my favourite movies, and it is on my big list. It was almost in my top 10. It was one of those that kept coming in and out, and it ended up just being on the outside of it. But Prisoners is incredible. Denis Villeneuve, on the run of his lifetime, on any lifetime at the moment, and this was like the start of it. Jake Gyllenhaal again here is incredible. Hugh Jackman getting to flex his proper dramatic muscles, amazing. It's nice to see Terrence Howard in things, and then Viola Davis is great as well, as she always is. And then there's so many cool things in this, and it's one of those mystery films that just keeps you guessing the whole way through. And then even when you rewatch it, there's so many little things that make sense, and it's just full of tiny little Easter eggs that you will pick up on time and again, that really, it rewards you for rewatching it. And I've got to say, it's a tough one to rewatch because it's so dark and heavy, but it's just chef's kiss. Truly incredible stuff here.
It was one of those
I'm glad
films
that someone put it on their list.
It was one of those films where I had to go on Google and search up ending explained, because I'm a bit stupid. But I thought it was very good. I liked. I'm a big fan of the music when he's driving to the hospital. That is such a tense scene. Jesus Christ, that is so good. I've made it very clear that long films are like I was on Netflix and it was like, this film is 2.5 hours. This is a long film. But one night I was like, I'll just put it on, and it didn't feel like 2.5 hours, and I was gripped the whole time. Hugh Jackman's just on fire here. This is probably one of his best performances. Jake Gyllenhaal has got, he's got the tics and stuff like that. But that was something he added to the character. He's great. Paul Dano is terrifying. I can't remember his name, but he plays Polka Dot Man. He's terrifying.
Yeah.
All the cast in this is great, and it's a great mystery. One that I've forgotten what it is, so I need to go back and try and figure that out with Google Explained as well. But yeah, I loved it. Really loved it.
Hamish?
Joe has just sung what I was going to say, pretty much. I think the performances in this movie are like mind-bogglingly like excellent. Like the variety we get to see, like you said, Hugh Jackman. Oh my god, like he's phenomenal to watch in this movie, as is Paul Dano. Paul Dano does scary quite well, doesn't he? You know,
just a little bit.
You know, I'm beginning to feel as if he's like one of those secret serial killers in Hollywood, like an actual serial killer.
But then, what's so refreshing about Okja is that you see him in a nice role. He's like a nice guy, and he's just that. There's a moment he breaks into the little girl's hotel room and shows her signs in Korean so she can read what he's saying, and then he just leaps out the window at the end. Like, incredible! It's just like, really fun and weird.
I mean, I think Okja's excellent for Paul Dano, showing like a wide variety of what he can play. But I mean, Prisoners.
This was sort of the precursor to his role as the Riddler.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
My one negative about Prisoners is that Hugh Jackman doesn't go, you know, his singing type of it's like really fluctuating. You know like from Les Miserables, he's like, you know.
Man just called it Les Miserable.
No, because I'm English and stupid, I call it Les Miserables. So.
Of course you do.
The Miserable. That's what I think the film is.
When your mate Les is unhappy.
Les Miserable.
Less miserable.
Yeah, no. There's not much more to say about Okja. It's got a really great message. And
Don't eat
Bong
meat.
Joon-ho is also a really great director, and we see that going forward with Parasite.
I bet Okja tastes great.
I bet Okja did taste great, man.
That was a meaty son of a bitch.
And
it's
it's just an adorable ending to the movie as well. Like, they've got a little Okja and a big Okja, and yeah, just a nice movie. It's one of those ones where it's
for
like
everyone.
Yeah, Okja is for everyone, and Prisoners is for that moment that you're like, I don't think I hate myself enough, and so you watch that movie and just feel like terrible. And it also, Prisoners must have set off so many parents' alarm bells, because imagine watching that and having kids at home. Like, that's awful.
You'd be terrified.
You're not going outside anymore.
Yeah.
All right, Timmy, you're getting locked in your bedroom.
I think we've said enough, but are we all going the same way?
Yes.
Prisoners.
Prisoners.
I would like to give a vote to Okja if everyone else is going Prisoners, just so Alex feels felt, because it is a good movie and it's worth seeing. It is on Netflix. Go and check it out if you haven't already. But Prisoners is by far the superior movie, and Prisoners goes through to the round of 32. Okja has been slaughtered.
Yum yum, pig meat.
Bit dark that one.
Some bacon.
Yeah.
Right, the next matchup then. It is the 29 seed, and that is on Joe's list, and that is Attack the Block. And that faces off against the number 36 seed from Siwan's list again, and that is The Matrix.
Oh, damn.
This is going to be a tough
Can I just say
sell.
I really like Attack the Block?
Can I just say I really like The Matrix?
I second that.
I prefer Attack the Block to The Matrix.
Yes!
What?
Welcome, my brother! Welcome to the brethren!
We've got a conversation then.
Yeah.
So, we'll do Attack the Block first. Everyone apart from Joe, what do we think of Attack the Block?
It's got its moments, I guess.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's a really solid movie. I think it's fun. It's fast paced. I think some of the characters are kind of annoying, but that's that's whatever. I think the plot's really fun, and the creature design is so cool. That creature design takes this movie so far. And John Boyega, like, he is the main part in this, but I don't think he's really got much to do until towards the end. I think the other kids are sort of the main stars of this, and Jodie Whittaker is really great in this as well, as Joe would love to hear.
Of course.
Anyone else got anything else to add about that?
Nah, I completely agree.
I think it's a brilliant piece of British cinema. Like, okay, so I hadn't watched Attack the Block until I believe we did a watch of it. I can't remember what year it was that we were living together, but I think you guys were watching it one night. Year two, yeah. I hadn't watched Attack the Block ever. It was one of those movies that had like been on my forever list that is like there, and you keep wanting to watch it, but you never get around to it. And I watched it, and I fucking loved it. I mean, what you say about John Boyega, I think I get what you mean, but I think the collective of the kids, it's not just the other kids, it's a collective at the beginning, and then we hit the solo stuff with them at the end. I think they act phenomenally. I think it's just it's one of those movies that really captures the kind of UK feel of teenagers quite well. And I mean, the monsters are practical. I'm a sucker for practical effects in that regard. So is Alex as well. It's just good. This is one of those movies that you can tell is like, it doesn't have this like smashing, cracking budget, but they still make a fucking excellent movie out of it. Joe?
Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. Should we give some lip service to The Matrix?
Feels as if Joe's itching though to say.
Wait,
something.
do I not get to talk about it?
Yeah.
Go on, Joe.
I love how British it feels. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's this specifics about this that is like, I'd love to see more films like this. It seems like the sort of film that would be shown at like the BFI.
Yeah,
it's
very
like one of those
indie
films. Yeah, it's small scale, but it's got a great cast, and I don't know. I want to find more films like it. It's something about it where it's like, this is so cool, and like, I don't know. I think it's just how it feels like a quintessential British indie film, and also Jodie Whittaker's in it, which is a pretty big bonus for me. It must be good because my dad was like, "Oh, Joe, this film's been on Film 4, and I watched it last night. I've recorded it, so you can watch it with me again." I'm like, "Okay, I'll watch it," and it was great. So thank you, Dad. But I love the hell out of it. Yeah.
We'll move on to The Matrix. What does everyone think about this one? I
really dislike The Matrix. I think it's overhyped.
You dislike it?
I think The Matrix is a bit overhyped. I think it's a good movie. I won't dispute that. But every single person that I know that has like been exposed to The Matrix goes through this phase. And I mean, like, I'm terminally online, so I'm on Discord quite a bit, and the amount of people that I know that have gone through phases of like, they've just watched the first Matrix movie, their profile picture immediately changes to Neo from The Matrix, and you can tell what stages they're at in watching the movie because they make their personalities about the fucking Matrix. Like, people that have just started watching those movies, they're like MCU, like diehard fans. They will come up to you, and as soon as you say like, I don't know, fuck, they'll be like, language! Like, they'll be like, oh, Neo would have won that fight. It's like, oh, shut up. I don't care. I think it's a cool movie, mate. But like, what, like, us living in a computer simulation, it's not that deep. It's really not. It's not some like earth-shattering like plot. It's a cool plot, but it's like I just don't care.
Okay, I'm going to stop this right now. The Matrix is perhaps the coolest movie I've ever seen. It's and absolutely people should be changing their profile pictures to Neo as soon as they finish the movie because he's so cool. The whole movie, the vibe is just excellent. And yes, it is. You're right. Right now, yeah, like it's whatever plot-wise, you know, it's not that cool a concept. But back in 1999, this hadn't been done before. It's so original in its idea, and that concept takes it so far. Keanu Reeves is one of those performers where he can sell anything with sincerity. The reason the John Wick films are so good isn't because of the world behind John Wick. This new Continental show couldn't give a damn about it, but his performance is what drags those John Wick movies to excellence, and the amazing choreography as well.
I disagree.
We're not talking about that though. Stop. The Matrix, though, his sincerity in his performance, in his
you brought it up.
Struggle,
Hold on.
No, because we're not talking about that. I'm using that.
I don't think Keanu Reeves is the best actor.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
No, but
I don't think he's
5 stars.
No, what I'm saying is his sincerity in trying in these roles is what makes him a really cool actor to watch and really an engaging actor to watch. And he brings so much life to this movie. Also, Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne is excellent. It's got a great villain.
I prefer the Hannibal Buress version on the Eric Andre show.
The action sequences are incredible as well.
Can I say that you're forgetting about Carrie-Anne Moss as fucking Trinity?
Trinity's dope as well.
Trinity!
I need to rebuttal you on this one, Xander. I don't think Keanu Reeves is like... I think Keanu Reeves can do well with choreography, and in a lot of his like fantastic movies where he's like critically acclaimed, the world is extremely strongly built. Like I think the John Wick, like the world of John Wick, is also part of its appeal. I think people are excited to watch the Continent.
What I'm saying is that the reason I watch those movies is for Keanu Reeves,
I completely
and not
disagree.
for the world.
Completely disagree.
Well, that's a difference of opinion.
I don't watch it with Keanu Reeves acting.
Voice it. Like, dude, I think he should.
No, because we're going to go down a deep rabbit hole that's going to take us 20 minutes to get back out of. The Matrix is a really good...
you designed the rabbit hole.
You designed it. You dug it.
I'm leaping over the rabbit hole.
This is very in Matrix. Can I just say, because you're talking about White Rabbit, and that's like the entire beginning of the film. Wait, can I just say why instead of talking about why Keanu Reeves is or is not a good actor, can I say why I've just put it on the list?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess so.
So although you did that last time. Shut up, Joe. You talked about your fucking Jodie Whittaker obsession.
Oh, but like, we care about that film. I'm kidding. Go on. I'm kidding!
Go away with your neon teeth fucking black aliens. I'm kidding. I do like the aliens, okay? Right.
Yeah. And what do you prefer, Mr. Anderson?
Yes, I do!
Somebody smite him, smite him, smite him.
I'll smite you in a minute.
That's a very niche reference. I hope someone got it.
No.
I don't know.
It's from the Lego movie. Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, there you go. No,
because... Sorry, just a tangent. No
more tangents! No more tangents!
But the guy who plays the robot guy...
We need to get this episode wrapped up!
What's his name? What's his name?
Joe, don't make me server mute you. Don't make me server mute you, Joe.
You open this can of worms, let him eat it.
Sorry?
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, there's Lego versions of him playing that character in the Lego Batman movie, and they go, somebody smite him, smite him, smite him. It's really funny. I'll stop now.
Thank you.
The first time I watched it because, you know, it was one of those iconic films that come from the 90s. You know, I didn't know, but the first time I watched it, I just fell in love with how absurd it is, the idea of it, but also, like, the choreography behind everything. Because, like, you can't say that choreography does not hold up. Like, the whole idea, it's just the absurdity of the idea of it, you know, like, this guy who thinks he's nothing, but he ends up being, like, this Jesus guy. But in, like, computer shit, it's just... I don't know, I think it's iconic. I think, yes, it has issues with the actors not, like, you know, being frickin' A-class actors. But it adds to it. And I do think, you know, maybe having experiences with people being weird fucking incels about the film has, you know, affected how you see it, but like I still think it holds up, and I think it's just the absurdity of some random thing that has now actually become what is it?
A cult classic?
Yeah, it's a cult classic.
It's not even a cult classic, it's a classic.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
a rare case of friendly fire as Sawan shoots Xander, calling him an incel for the behavior that I complained about, saying a little bit of friendly fire there, a little bit of infighting. I don't know, is Sawan changing her mind about this movie and going to vote for Attack the Block? Find out next time on Sawan Shoots Xander.
Thank you, Ben Shapiro.
Joe.
It's
Joe,
next time. The fuck she's not.
Without trying to, you know, forget the matchup for a second, because I don't know what you think about this movie.
I quite like The Matrix. I think it's a good film. Yes, Keanu Reeves, he's not the greatest actor, but he's a very, very nice man. And I do like the story. It, as you say, for the time, it was probably very good. It still holds up now. I love Morpheus. I prefer the Hannibal Buress version from Eric Andre. Yeah, it's kind of a revolution, and Trinity. See what I like Trinity. It's a revolutionary film in a lot of ways. I just think I prefer Attack the Block, as that's sort of more my both for sci-fi, you know, but both are very different. That one's a sort of grand surreal ideas. The others is a sort of base under siege type story, which I quite like because of Doctor Who and how much they do it. So I think I don't know.
I now know how to win Joe's vote every time we do a a blind pitch episode. Just do a base under siege.
Yeah. I like both films, but Attack the Block is one I'd go, I'm going to put that on TV, or I'm going to put that on for the night just to enjoy. And yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, we all like both movies, apart from Hamish, who's a weirdo.
I know. So I said I don't dispute it's a good movie. I enjoy The Matrix. I just don't like the idea of The Matrix. I think it also.
I love the monarchy. I just don't like the idea of the monarchy.
No, it's just like it gets really fucking like. It just gets like pretentious. It gets pretentiously long.
I wouldn't call it that. I was just what I thought Hamish was going to call it.
We're not talking about the series here, just the first movie.
No, but it's connected to it, and I'm allowed to complain because it's like spawned it.
Let's go back to talking Pacific Rim and talk about the second one then.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
You beat me to it. Stop.
We don't recognize that movie. It wasn't directed by Del Toro.
Well, you brought it up with The Matrix.
So.
What? You want to vote Barbie Mariposa?
I might now.
Listen, both of these movies are good, and I don't think we're going to get anywhere here.
No.
Because I'm going to be voting for The Matrix. Siwan's going to be with me, and then you two are going to be with Attack the Block. What do you guys want to do in the case of a tiebreak?
I don't know.
Can we message Alex?
Yeah, is Alex back yet?
I don't know. I'll give Alex a call.
We're doing
and if they're not able to make
phone
it,
a friend.
Brief intermission.
Hey, honey. Are you going to be back for the rest of the recording tonight? That's the first question. No. Okay. Cool. Second of all, there's a tie, and I've been asked to call you to figure it out. Right. Attack the Block or The Matrix?
The Matrix.
Why would you do that?
No!
Yes!
Okay, right.
We
Bye.
should have called Alex. We should have called someone else.
Alex has voted The Matrix because they saw like the little red laser on their chest. You know, didn't want to get shot.
Well, there you go. Attack the Block has been taken over by those Grizzly Aliens. I'm sorry, Joe. You will have chances later on this episode and in future episodes to have your chance at glory. But The Matrix goes through to the round of 32.
Film, so...
That's it. I don't think we've sent a bad movie through so far. The next matchup it's on Alex's list. Back to Alex's list. It is the number 20 seed, and that is Prey from last year. And that faces off against Hamish's 45 seed, Watchmen from 2009.
Oh, God.
So, I haven't actually heard...
That marathon.
Yeah, I haven't heard what Joe and Swan have actually said on this movie, aside from the fact that it's length. So I do actually...
Bloody marathon.
I do actually want to hear about this. Because I will briefly rewind back to what Swan said earlier, is I don't want to take the length of this movie into account to give another one a point. So, remove your length comments, bitch!
Okay.
Saying that to Joe,
I will.
not to you, because I know Joe is winding up a length complaint.
No, because I watched the longer cut. I watched the 3.5 hour one because it's the only one that I had access to.
It is a better.
It had like
cut.
this whole. I don't know if it's in the cut you watched
bit.
on. There was an animated bit, and I was like, okay, where is this going? I mean, it was interesting. It was like, ooh, it's a bit grim, but like overall, it didn't add anything to the overall story. I don't think so, anyway.
It's part of the comic book, that section. It's
Yeah.
in the graphic novel. So that's why they've added it. And I think it's a fun addition, and it is... I think it's really well narrated by Jerry Butler. But you're absolutely right, Joey. It adds nothing. It adds absolutely nothing.
That is for the diehard fans of the
It is, absolutely, yeah.
So
it
not
would work
me.
well as like a DVD extra or something.
As a mini-sode, but not like, part of the film. Yeah.
Since we'll stay on Watchmen for a bit. I used to love this movie, but I've seen the flaws. I'm essentially just giving you the highlights from my Letterboxd review, but Rorschach might actually be one of my favorite comic book characters put on screen of all time. He's so cool and really interesting. And I love Jackie Earle Haley's performance as him. And it's such a shame that he went and did Freddy Krueger after this, because he's essentially had no career. But this movie shows, like, he's really cool in this. And he's got so many great lines. That moment in the prison when he says, you're trapped in here with me. That's so cool.
As a side note, Xander, Rorschach was inspired by DC's The Question.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, heavily inspired. Because... the writer of Watchmen couldn't actually... He wanted to use The Question, but he couldn't get the rights to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I also love the way the Rorschach mask changes throughout the movie. Like, the CG looks great. But that's the thing with Zack Snyder. He's a visual filmmaker. And so the movie looks fantastic. But it's that thing again, is it style over substance?
I mean,
with some of those movies.
a further side note, nowadays we can actually make that mask. A lot of cosplayers for Rorschach, it's a ink woven between the two layers of fabric that responds to heat. So if you breathe out, it changes.
That's cool.
That has been a cosplay I've been looking at for a while.
The mask kind of reminded me of the music video for "You Make Me Crazy." You know, when you got all the black.
I mean,
ink.
that fits with Rorschach, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan's really good in it as well, but no one else I find interesting.
Patrick Wilson.
I think Patrick Wilson.
I didn't want to see his bum.
Patrick Wilson's only interesting when he's paired up with Rorschach, and that's essentially for the last half an hour of the movie. And as we mentioned, it's a long movie. He has a couple of scenes earlier on with him, but it's mainly for the main part that I like Patrick Wilson in this. It's towards the end. Malin Ackerman, God bless her, she is not a good actress at all. Like, I don't like doing this, but like she's terrible. She's an absolute mare. She has no chemistry with anyone else in the cast, and some truly painful line deliveries. That moment where she's like, "Do that thing you do," it's so bad. It's so bad. And the action's really fun and over the top, but it's it is overly long. I don't find the plot that engaging or interesting. And the main character that we were following towards the end is Ozymandias. You don't see enough of him to even pick up that he's a hero or a villain. Like, you don't get enough of him in this movie. There's not enough of him, I feel.
I was quite intrigued by the mystery, I think, because I was like, I don't know, because I don't know anything about the comics, so I had no idea what to expect.
It's a pretty faithful adaptation of the book. It's pretty much.
I heard the ending was divisive, but I don't know what was changed.
There's nothing changed to the ending of it. Rorschach dies, which, by the way, I think is a phenomenally acted scene. Rorschach's
really
death.
Great.
Oh my
really
god. The acting in that is like his final words before his death, like the emotion that those lines are delivered with. The reason I chose this movie is because I think it's a masterclass on comic movies. Like, a comic book movie doesn't need to be like, it does wind up being so much bigger than what it begins with, but like, it doesn't need to be like, the heroes win, this does this, that does that, and it's all kind of like spoon-fed to you. The movie's it's a murder mystery, but it's also got like the grit of what DC Comics is nowadays. But it also it does an excellent job at showcasing the different eras of comic books that we've been through. The Golden Age, the Silver Age, and now we're in the Bronze Age of comics. And, I mean, Hollis Mason, the original Night Owl we see get murdered in the movie in his own home. I think that's an excellent, like, analogy for that. We see this, like, campy era of comic book, like, heroes that, you know, kids used to read and adore get murdered on the spot in such a brutally violent way. And that's what comics are nowadays, pretty much.
Go on, Jonesy, when I sort of spoke a lot early on, so.
I will say the final half an hour, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I genuinely wish more of the film was like that, because for most of the film I was in and out of trying to stay.
You were just sending me messages
attention.
saying, Joe, this film's long.
Like, I was so trying to pay attention, but it just kept dipping, and I was like, I can't pay attention to this. It's just, I don't know, it was bland at points. And then it got me back, and then I dipped, and then it got me back. And then obviously in the bits where I dipped, I was kind of like losing where I was. Like, the prison bit was great. I agree with Rorschach. I can't say his name. Rorschach?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. I thought he was great. I genuinely loved him. I did like Patrick Wilson at bits. But that's, you know, I like him in general. The blue guy, I couldn't give two shits about.
Dr. Manhattan.
Because he was kind of an ass. He was just a bit of an ass.
He's also naked all the way through the movie. Someone had to animate his penis.
It's like,
I never saw his penis.
Someone had
How
to
did
get
you
the
not see
sway.
his penis?
So whenever he spoke, the
just
subtitles were in
right
front
every
of the
time.
groin area, so I never saw his penis.
it's like when
Damn
you
it.
watch Cats. Someone had to animate furry boobs. It's rather disturbing.
But no, the final half an hour, it got my attention. I was sat at, like, genuinely almost at the edge of my seat for that half an hour, because it was genuinely really good. But I just wish that more of the film was like that, because otherwise I just couldn't pay attention. It was just kind of bland.
It's valid.
Should we talk about Prey?
Yeah,
Very good.
this movie was going to be on my list. Alex then said it was on their list, and I was like, I'll put something else on, and that something else wound up being Watchmen. Yeah.
How fitting.
Yeah, Prey's really good. It's the second best Predator movie.
It is the
The
only Prey
original
movie I have seen.
Predator is the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's the second best one, and that's okay.
The second
But it's
best
still
priest.
really good.
I think it's a well-needed revival to the series, which isn't absolutely
well-needed.
dog shit.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had a good Predator movie, or at least a watchable Predator movie. Yeah, I love the design in this. It's tense. It's such a shame it got put on Disney Plus here in England, but overseas it was on Hulu. It's why not put this in cinemas? It's so good, and imagine seeing that on the big screen. That'd have been amazing.
Well, technically, I did because I have a projector. So, sorry, that was
Great.
weird.
Damn whack.
Great.
So,
Damn, bro, that's whack. I didn't ask.
It's another dub for Dan Trachtenberg though.
It is?
He did
What
this,
else has
10
he done?
Cloverfield Lane. He did episodes of The Boys. He's doing later episodes of Stranger Things as well.
Yeah, well.
So,
I think one of my favorite things for this movie is the sheer time the producers and directors took to properly portray Native American culture. I mean, there's so many small little things that unless you actually you'd watch the behind the scenes, you wouldn't actually notice. At the end when she whistles just before she takes on the predator, she whistles off into the night. That isn't her just calling out the predator. In Native American culture, whistling out to the night is to it's to invite dark spirits. It's to invite a threat to come to you. Small little things like that. It gives us this beautiful flavor to this movie, which, gonna be honest with you, some of the Predator movies haven't done great at portraying certain aspects of cultures and yeah.
oh, you mean the autism one? Yes, of course.
How dare you, Xander? I'm actually the next step in the human evolutionary chain.
Wait, was that
Joe,
from the Predator
Joe looks
film?
confused.
Yeah,
That is from
the
a Predator
movie
movie.
The Predator. The big bad predator in the movie tries to kidnap an autistic child, and claims that he is higher evolved, and because the kid's autistic, he automatically knows how to work all the alien technology. It's really bad.
He's terminally inside.
Literally, the kid's like, "Oh yeah, I understand this alien language. Beep boop beep."
Incredible.
It's bad.
It's really good. It's so bad, but it's so watchable. It's so much fun. But yeah, Prey is to me the far superior movie.
It is.
It's got the back hour of this is unbeatable.
Stunning.
Once the bear attack happens and they start hunting for the predator, and then that just starts ripping people. All the predator action is amazing here.
I think the cool thing about the film, I watched it a while ago, but because that the predator can be invisible, there are shots where it's empty and you're looking for it, and there's so much tension in that because you're like, okay, where is it? I know it's here, but we cannot see it. That's so cool.
When I saw that these two were pitched against each other, I was like, Watchmen's on my list. How can I stand up to this? And then, as we started talking, I was like, I fucking can't. This is a loss.
It is. Sorry, bud.
No, I'm all right with losing this. It's Prey. I'm not even mad.
We're gonna go with Prey.
We're gonna go with Prey.
I'm gonna go with Prey.
Prey deserves it.
Prey has seen itself through to the next round, and the Watchmen, ironically, didn't see that coming. They have been dumped out in the first round. We've got two more matchups. I think that's where we're all feeling, yeah?
Yeah.
Going to be done after two, yeah. The next one, we have another one from Siwan's list. It is the number 26 seed. It is 12 Angry Men. This was the last addition to the tournament before we started. And that faces off against one of mine. It is the number 37 seed, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, just for a fun little thing, can you imagine showing the people in 1957 12 Angry Men and then showing them, but this is what movies will become, I think they would have a seizure. Like, it's just so different. So different.
See, it's not one of those things where, like, I don't know, because I have both of them. So, it's not like there's a preference there. I like both of these films. So... Oh, this is a terrible matchup.
This is maybe the hardest one, because none of us can argue that either of these are bad movies.
No, this is
12
easy
Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is one of the great classics of all time. Like, it's regarded as one of the greatest movies of all time. And Spider-Verse is maybe the best comic book movie of all time.
A little factoid is that 12 Angry Men one was directed by Henry Fonda, and it was his first movie.
Good on him. And his
He
little
does really well.
switchblade.
Yeah, it's 12 Angry Men. It's got perfect pacing. Each character has their own moment to shine. The writing is excellent. The acting is superb. Even, you watch some old movies and you're like, this isn't great. But no, it's so engaging.
It holds up.
It really does hold up. And there's been many attempts at trying to do it, and it's the perfect excuse for like a bottle episode, isn't it? Some you can imagine the guys from Community doing a 12 Angry Men style episode.
You can.
Didn't they literally do it with the pen episode, Annie's pen?
They did, actually. No, you're completely right.
Spider-Verse is the complete opposite. It is so expansive and so huge and so wonderfully animated and so colourful, yeah.
And all the subplots that we didn't see coming. We all brushed over all the nods to the upcoming sequel that has hit cinemas and has hit it like a train. But the goddamn planning! I'm at a bit of a loss.
Who is Yellow?
Xander.
Your boy.
Oh, it's Xander. Sorry.
This... I'm gonna be honest with you, this isn't like a battle for me. I enjoyed 12 Angry Men, and I think it is a very influential movie to like modern cinema and modern TV as well. However, I've gone back and I've watched Into the Spider-Verse multiple times. I've watched 12 Angry Men once, and I think I don't need to watch it again. And every time I go back and watch Into the Spider-Verse, it doesn't dull. I get the same emotions as I do every time I watch it. Call that my autism speaking. But I really, really love this movie.
Yeah, see, I think that it also helps that we've grown up with Spider-Man as a character, and this movie is a celebration of Spider-Man, and you just can't top that. This movie is close to perfection for me.
Really
there's a
struggling.
reason it's on here.
Because I really like both of them.
I'm gonna play my hand early. It is my movie, but I'm gonna vote for Spider-Verse.
What a shock.
I'm gonna vote Spider-Verse too. I'm sorry, guys. 12 Angry Men can stay 12 Angry Men. And you might join them if being angry.
I'm surprised that I was the only one to put this on my list, I'll be honest.
I knew it was going to be on someone else's list. I didn't want to double up.
Siwan, do you want to take us through any thoughts?
I think I'm like the same as Joe. Like, they're both, obviously, one's on my list. One, I very much love Spider-Verse. I only saw 12 Angry Men a few weeks ago because Joe had been talking about it, and I thought I'd finally listen to him and watch it. And it was just from like the get-go, I was just invested in what, was happening in this film, and you're begging for each character to change their mind, and then when they do, I was just there like, oh, thank fuck, they changed their mind. You know, I was like, when he brought out the Switchblade, I actually, like, cheered. Like, there was points in this film where I was just like, I'm in this room, I am here now, I need to change these guys' minds. Because, you know, I don't even know what this kid's done, but I want them to be innocent. It was like that, but then Spider-Verse, it is just perfect. It's like, you can sit there and watch it, and like Hamish said, every time you watch it, it is still the same impact every single time. It looks beautiful, the voice acting, and yeah, what it sets up for what's happening across the Spider-Verse and probably what is going to be and beyond. They're both, in my opinion, really just perfect films for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
And they are, like, literally at the opposite end of the spectrum. So, yeah, I don't know.
Joe?
It is tough.
Pretty much exactly what Siwan said. They're both great in their own way. One basically introduced me to, like, older films, because it was that Rear Window and all that sort of stuff. But Spider-Verse was such a big thing. To be honest, at the time I was like, yeah, Spider-Verse was good, but like I appreciated it, but maybe it wasn't as good as people made out to be. Like, I much prefer the sequel. I still love Spider-Verse, but I don't think it's this greatest thing of all time that people make it out to be. But it is very good, I will say that. But I do like with Attack the Block, I like things in one location. They feel quite contained, and like I like character pieces. And
is that why you like Inside Number 9, Joe?
maybe. I think you're on something there.
Maybe.
No, and it was one of those films that my dad introduced to me, and you know how your dad says watch this and you pretend not to be interested, and then you're like, oh, actually, yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, by the end of the movie, you're like sat on the edge of the fucking seat.
And you have to say to your dad, oh, that was really good. Yeah, oh, fuck you.
It was all right. I mean,
it was all right. I guess 5 stars on Letterboxd. It's tricky, but
I'm gonna push you guys for an answer.
Okay. 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men gets the vote. Siwan, are you backing your homeboy, or are you gonna? Have we tempted you away?
It's tough, isn't it? Fucking hell. Why'd you have to put these two together, Xander?
I didn't put these together.
Xander, you idiot.
Right?
Why would
you made the tournament!
Yeah, but it's the numbers.
You're an idiot, Xander.
What do they mean?
Idiot boy.
Yeah, no, this is just how the numbers did it. I'm sorry.
Considering, obviously, I only saw it a few weeks ago, and I've seen Spider-Verse a few times, I might, for that reason, be a traitor to my own list. That's just because it's new to me, but I'm sorry, Joe, don't look at me like that.
I will look
She's done it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Sublime!
It's done now. It's done now. It's done now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's done now.
Oh, it's gone through in extra time and penalties. But
now there's only one Angry Man, and it's me.
Into the Spider-Verse has gone through, and those 12 Angry Men can stay locked in that sweat.
They turned into one Angry Man, Xander.
Turned you into one Angry Man.
13 Angry
That was
Men.
horrible.
Joe's in there now.
Yeah.
13.
I'm sorry,
I have to
Joe.
deliberate over the death of a child now. On my own.
Hold that. The final matchup for the day. It's mine again. On Xander's list. It's the 21 seed La La Land and that faces off against one of Joe's movies.
Oh,
the
what?
44 seed, the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lego Batman movie.
Joe,
I'm going with La La
I'm
Land.
sorry.
I'm sorry. This is quite a twist, but like I put Lego Batman movie down, and I thought to myself, maybe this was a mistake because I was going to put down 12 Angry Men instead. And thinking back on it, I think there's too many jokes in Lego Batman movie. They're too close together. Some of them contradict
Damn,
each other.
Joe!
Like it's like, oh, the Suicide Squad's it was oh yeah, villains fighting villains is a terrible idea. And then they're talking about having groups and like, oh yeah, we should get the Suicide Squad involved. But you've literally just said, I love the Lego Batman movie, but I do think there are too many jokes in it. And La La Land was such a magical experience. Seriously, watching that was like, oh, this is cinema. Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, you're both so gorgeous. Oh, the songs are great. I listened to them on the train. Like, they're so good. I'm like, oh, I feel like a movie star right now. So, yeah, sorry, Lego Batman movie. I'm betraying you. I betray you. I'm going with La La Land.
That is the quickest turncoat I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, but as soon as I heard La La Land, I was like, oh, my beloved. And then you mentioned the Lego Batman movie. I was like, oh, yeah, I chose that one, didn't I?
I completely agree with Joe that, like, I enjoyed the Lego Batman movie. I've got the song from it sitting on my Spotify.
It's so good.
I was going to cue it up whilst we were doing this debate. However, whenever I think about how much La La Land has been robbed of its recognition, awards-wise...
Fucking Moonlight.
Fucking Moonlight.
Moonlight's so good.
It's
though.
a good
Moonlight
movie.
is very good, though.
But,
Moonlight is very good.
But, like, y'all can't rob La La Land like that.
Not even Batman could do it.
Yeah. Sorry, it's Ryan Gosling as well. You know?
He's
Exactly.
so pretty.
We're all Knuff, and he is also Knuff.
So is Emma
He's more
Stone.
than
She
enough.
is.
Yeah.
Emma Stone. That bloody ending, though, broke my bloody fucking heart.
yeah.
I'm a child of divorce.
Yeah. La La Land. I'm saying my vote now.
Oh, Xander. Maybe you should get some parents.
Yeah, no, listen, the Lego Batman movie, I remember seeing that in the cinema, and I was in a crowd full of kids,
Oh, Xander.
and I was like the only adult.
Xander hates
and
children.
I was
Joe.
I was
Joe, not
laughing
Joe.
more than anyone else there. I had the best time watching that movie. It was so
Are you
funny.
switching like me?
It was so funny. But on the rewatch, it dips. The first, 20 minutes is so crammed, jam-packed with jokes that you're like, my belly hurts, please stop. And then it does stop. And I think that there's an hour goes by, and it's just not as consistently funny as the start of the movie. And so for that, it just kind of loses its pace. It feels a little long. On the rewatch this time, I thought I was coming to the end, and there was half an hour left. It was like, okay. Yikes.
Also,
Sorry, go on, Joe.
two things. I think one of the complaints that I know my family have that I think is a recurring thing in a lot of animations now. There's too much going on. There's too much stuff for the eyes, and I think some of Lego Batman movie, it's too fast. Like there's lots going on. Like the Batwing or whatever it is, it moves so quick, and it's like, oh my god.